The first time I paid one of my sister's bills, she cried and hugged me. The 10th time, she barely looked up from her phone. Somewhere between those moments, helping stopped feeling like love, and started feeling like love, and started feeling like my assigned role. I never kept score. At least, that's what I told myself. When she got engaged, I wanted to do something meaningful. She and her fiancé had talked for months about visiting Italy for their honeymoon, but every conversation ended with the same sentence. Maybe one day. I called a travel agent, arranged the flights and hotels, and spent just over $9,000. The reservation stayed under my name until I could present it as a surprise at the engagement party. I imagined her face when she opened the envelope. Instead, I learned how easily generosity can become a punchline. Halfway through the evening, glasses were raised for toasts, friends laughed, music softened. My sister stood with a smile that filled the room. Then she looked at me. "Some of us find love," she said, lifting her glass higher. "Some of us just fund it." Everyone laughed, not because they hated me, because they thought it was harmless. A clever joke. I smiled too. It was easier than explaining that every laugh landed on years of quietly saying yes. My parents looked uncomfortable but said nothing. Her fiancé chuckled for a second before realizing I hadn't joined in. Nobody stopped the moment. Nobody had to. Something inside me simply settled. I walked to the gift table while another conversation had already started. The white envelope with the honeymoon itinerary was exactly where I'd left it. I picked it up. No one noticed. Outside, the night was cool enough to clear my head. I opened my phone and sent a short message to the travel agent. "Please cancel booking reference 7A. The gift has not yet been transferred. Confirm any applicable fees." A minute later, my phone rang. The agent explained that because the reservation was still under my account and the transfer paperwork hadn't been completed, cancellation was straightforward. There would be a cancellation charge, but most of the money would be refunded. I thanked her. She processed it immediately. I slipped the envelope into my jacket and went back inside. The party continued as if nothing had happened. 5 minutes later, my sister's smile disappeared. She stared at her phone, then at me, then back at the screen. "What do you mean the booking was canceled?" The room fell silent. She hurried toward me, holding up the confirmation email. "You canceled it." "I did. Why would you do that?" There wasn't anger in my voice, only exhaustion. "Because it wasn't a gift yet." She blinked. "It was going to be." It was. Neither of us spoke for several seconds. The travel agent called again, asking one final question about the refund destination. I answered, confirmed my account details, thanked her, and ended the call. That conversation seemed louder than any argument could have been. My sister looked around the room, expecting someone to defend her. A few relatives shifted uncomfortably. One uncle quietly asked what had happened. Before anyone could invent a version that favored one side, I answered, "I bought them a honeymoon. Tonight I realized I wasn't giving it freely anymore." No speeches, no accusations, just the truth. Her fiancé rubbed the back of his neck. "I didn't know you paid for all of that." She looked at him as though hoping he would rescue the moment. He didn't. Not because he chose me, because there wasn't much to argue with. My mother finally spoke. Maybe everyone laughed a little too quickly. It wasn't an apology, but it was the first acknowledgement that the joke hadn't existed in a vacuum. The evening limped forward after that. Music returned. People tried to restart conversations. Nothing sounded natural anymore. Before I left, my sister caught me near the door. "I was kidding." "I know. You embarrassed me." I thought about that. Then I nodded. "I think we embarrassed each other." She opened her mouth, but no words came. For years I'd believed love meant absorbing every uncomfortable moment so nobody else had to. That belief had made me useful. It hadn't made me respected. Driving home, my phone buzzed with the refund confirmation. I looked at the amount for a long moment before locking the screen again. The money wasn't what mattered. Neither was the canceled trip. What stayed with me was the silence after the laughter, the brief space where everyone realized that generosity isn't permanent when gratitude disappears. My sister and I still speak, carefully. Neither of us pretends that night didn't happen. Maybe one day we'll understand each other better. Maybe we won't. but I no longer confuse being needed with being valued. And that has turned out to be a journey worth far more than the one I canceled.